Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? It is a Friday morning. You got to enjoy a Friday. So let's go. Let's get it. Now, yesterday I told you we were going to talk about football. We're still going to do that, but, NFL previews, move on to different divisions. So I lied. Sorry. Deal with it. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything today, again, kind of like yesterday. Just a lot of different stories that I really want to hit, and I think that the NFL previews, because we have time, in a couple of weeks still, I think that they can wait. Hopefully you enjoyed the NFC and AFC East and different, South previews that we had, but we'll move on. We'll get to all those divisions, all those previews whenever we can. So, today we're going to talk a little basketball, a little baseball, a little football, a little bit of everything, a little bit of life. We're going to talk about life today as well. So, it's 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's August 16th. Like I mentioned, it's a Friday. This is the Dave Talk Sports video podcast. This is episode number 41. Like a pro at this thing, you'd think by now. Oh, it's debatable. Okay, getting waved on by the lady on the crosswalk. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so looks like rain. I don't think it's supposed to rain today. Oh, we'll see. As you guys always join me on my drive home from CBS Sports Radio Network, sometimes we see nothing at all, just a normal drive home. Sometimes we see sun glare and I go blind, and sometimes we see absolute insanity and just crazy things that can happen. And crazy things happen all the time. And that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. So, DeMarcus Cousins is one of the most talented, skillful NBA basketball players in the world. At 7 feet tall, over the last couple of years has actually developed the ability to shoot the three. Can give you, when he was healthy and in his prime, he's giving you 24 points, 12 rebounds, just an absolute monster. Nearly 2 blocks, is doing it all. It's doing it all. And the last couple of years has turned into one injury after another, after another, and after another. And that is where DeMarcus Cousins is today. It's unfortunate and it's kind of sad, right? First, a couple of years ago, he ruptures his Achilles. And when you're, really anybody who has an injury really doesn't bounce back all that well, usually. If you're on the wrong side of 30, you don't usually bounce back that well. And if you're a man the size of DeMarcus Cousins, nearly 300 pounds, 7 feet tall, bouncing back from that injury, excuse me, a lot of yawning and sneezing and coughing and all these different things and, and whatnot on the podcast, so I apologize. I am tired. It is Friday. I do have to go to my other job in about 3 hours, but who's counting? So, when you're a man that's 7 feet tall, nearly 300 pounds, you don't generally bounce back that well from a ruptured Achilles. I mean, it's unfortunate, but you're not usually the same player. You don't have the same bounce, the same step, the same quickness, the same initial step and burst and all these different things that can be affected, when you have this kind of injury. And he comes back, and you could see when he came back from that injury, he wasn't exactly the same. He did have a couple good moments here and there playing for the Warriors, and when everyone else was injured, he tried to keep them in some games, late in games. And he played pretty well in stretches. Had a couple, I guess we'll call them flashback games, at the end of last season and into the playoffs. And now you think, okay, he's signed with the Lakers. If he's good, that could potentially be a huge X factor, and it can make the Lakers, the favorites to win the NBA title. I really thought that. I mean, the Clippers are good. The Bucks are good. I like the Sixers this year. There's other good teams. The Warriors still. Jazz, Rockets, all these other teams. There's a lot of good teams out there. But DeMarcus Cousins healthy, added to Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and all the other players that the Lakers have, could have been a serious X factor for them. And now, what do we learn? Yesterday, DeMarcus Cousins tore his ACL. I mean, just like, come on already. If I'm him, that's what I'm saying. Come on already. I already dealt with a major injury. That's supposed to be it. And he had a little quad injury. When he had the quad injury, we thought it was really serious. Excuse me. Ooh. Problem with a video podcast that doesn't get edited is that you're going to get my yawns, you're going to get my mistakes, you're going to get things that I misspeak, on, and you're going to get all the above. If I sneeze, it's all coming out. It's just, I say deal with it. I don't say it like that to be rude. But, deal with it. So, I feel bad for DeMarcus Cousins. I think he gets a bad rap because, he's got a little bit of a temper. Sometimes he's been a little bit of a hothead. Gets a lot of technicals, a lot of flagrants, a lot of things on the court. But really has not been a problem off the court. Every once in a while he says some things. He says some brutally honest things that maybe people don't like. But at the end of the day, he's a really talented player. And I feel bad. I feel bad because we're not getting to see a healthy DeMarcus Cousins. So most likely at this point, probably missing the entire season. The fact that Klay Thompson tore his ACL back in, I guess you'd say it was March heading into April. Actually, no. When did he? Some coppers. Where are they going? Which way are you guys going? Gotta get out of the way. No, not. What am I saying? Not March, April. He tore his. He tore his ACL in June, I guess. Yeah, during the finals. Yeah, what am I saying? Well, brain doesn't work this morning. So the fact that it happened probably 2 months ago means that he'll probably come back and play some of next year. DeMarcus Cousins, on the other hand, probably not. I believe there's a video actually floating around of him actually tearing his ACL in a pickup game. So I will get that out to you on my Twitter page. You can follow me on Twitter at DaveEttinger2. You can find me right here as you're watching on the YouTube channel named DaveTalksSports. Please subscribe to my channel right below this video. Leave some fun comments as well. And you can also find me on DaveTalksSports, my Facebook page and website. So that's one story. Now, it's not so much a story. It's just a general idea that I hear people, and I know people are excited for football, right? I get it. Like, the NFL is awesome. You're gearing up for your fantasy football drafts. I know I am. You're getting into your suicides/survivor pools, whatever you call them. I get all that. Man, you see some interesting things in the city. This guy just hopped out of a car, his pants around his ankles, and I don't want to know what was just happening in that car. Now he's just walking across the street like he's going to work. Right at a red light, right in front of me, right at a red light. I don't want to know what that was, so we're not going to venture a guess. But I guess that's Manhattan on a Friday at 6:38 in the morning. Right. Anyway, I don't like you if you are analyzing preseason football, judging people and how they're playing on preseason football, basing how good someone's going to be this year on preseason football, telling me the record of a team during preseason football. All of the above makes you stupid, makes me not want to talk to you, makes me just not like you. Because if you're not smart enough to understand that these games mean literally nothing in terms... They don't mean nothing in terms of the NFL. They mean nothing in terms of determining how good a player, a team, an organization, or a conference or division is going to be. It means absolutely nothing to judge wins and losses in the regular season. Nothing. Now, it serves a purpose. It helps with position battles for certain teams. It helps, injuries don't help, but injuries happen, and it helps determine your depth chart. Certain players, like the Jets kicker situation, is being figured out during the preseason. If they went into their season with who they thought were going to be their kicker, they'd be in big trouble. So the preseason serves a purpose. I get that. But judging the preseason, evaluating it, giving me scores, giving me records, giving me anything about it, unfortunately makes you a moron. So don't turn off the Dave Talk Sports YouTube channel. Don't get offended. Just be smarter. It's not that hard. I don't know what else to tell you. So wait till the regular season. And here's the other thing. You can't really even just wait till the regular season. Like, week 1 doesn't tell the picture either. Because of the rules, because of the CBA, because of the limited practices and the limited amount of hitting you're allowed to do and all of the above. Like, weeks 1 through 4 don't mean that much either. It's like, that's the actual preseason for the real players, because the real players don't play in preseason. So their preseason is like weeks 1 through 4. So it's really not until October that we have any idea or any semblance of an idea of what a team is going to be and what players are going to be. That's why you see more injuries in September. You see teams lose to the Browns when they're bad, to the Bucks, to the Lions, to all these bad teams. You see that. Because teams are not ready. Teams are not fully prepared. People are not, bounce back mode yet. But again, if you judge the preseason and use it as a gauge or a measuring stick for the regular season, I got some ice chips I want to sell you. Alright, we're going to switch gears. I'm going to be a whole lot nicer for the rest of the podcast. Which, of course, this is the Dave Talk Sports podcast with your host, Dave Ettinger. That's me. Episode number 41 on the Dave Talk Sports YouTube channel, where you are right now. Please subscribe right underneath my finger. Please leave comments below that. Please find me on Twitter at DaveEttinger2, where I'm going to post a video, which is supposedly the video of DeMarcus Cousins actually tearing his ACL. So, the rest of the podcast, we're going to talk about life. I know this is a sports podcast, and this is it's related to sports because it has to do with an athlete. So Dale Earnhardt Jr., he and his wife, his 1-year-old daughter, and his dog, their dog, were on a plane. Flying, I believe they were, I don't know every detail of the story, but I believe they were landing in Tennessee. And their plane actually crashed. It was a private plane. And their plane crashed. It ran off the runway and ended up lighting on fire. It was really crazy. If I could find some video footage or news footage of that, I'll post that on Twitter as well. Just really, really crazy. And something like this, with all these other things, right? We're joking around, I'm making fun of people. We're talking about football, we're talking about basketball, we're talking about baseball, we're talking about all these things. Sports, it's not real life. And okay, we talk about these things because Dale Earnhardt Jr. is a big name, he's a celebrity, an athlete. but it just puts life into perspective. It puts what we do every day into perspective. Like, I can talk about sports all day, every day. I'm passionate about it. But that doesn't make it super important. It's important to me because I love sports, but it's not super important in the grand scheme of life and health and happiness and family and friends and life and love and all.